Hey guys, Jan here, Northview Model Shop. Here is the final video of the Kenworth W900 Revell kit. Build-wise, the kit is very simple. It's just a snap tile kit. Glue not required, really. A lot of it's just snap. It's quite it was a bit of a letdown that way. I was looking for more of a challenging build. But you know, sometimes you run stuff like this, you got to take it to the best you can, and I decided to go beyond the craftsman side of it and take the painting end and really try to experiment. And it turned out well. It turned out really well. I'll set this here for now. The color I went with was I guess the bottle's gone now. I emptied it out. It was just a small Testor's enamel bottle. It was gloss bright lime, and it opposed the challenge when I reduced it down to airbrush it. As I'm spraying and the brush was spitting and going on, it wasn't spraying right. I mixed it 2-to-1, almost perfect, same as any other airbrush paint I had mixed before, with horrible results. Badass Canadian, I just happened to catch him on Facebook earlier in the day and ran it by him, and he suggested knocking the pressure up a little bit. Just the flaking into it, the little bit of metal flake that's in there, might have been causing problems. And sure enough, after I bumped it from about 18 psi up to 25, after I ruined the hood, we'll get to that later, it sprayed incredibly better. There's no orange peel on the hood, a fair amount of orange peel laid into the side of the doors and on the cab, the sleeper end of the truck. Just I was fighting, so this is where I ended up getting. But the wife picked the color out. And I was skeptical right from the get-go that it's not going to work. I'd rather do blue or purple or something cool. Her favorite color is green. She loved the color, and I went with it. I made it work, and it took a lot of jigging. And earlier this morning when I went upstairs, get ready to do some wet sanding, I said, well, this is what I'm going to do. And I did a little wet sanding, then took it downstairs, and I did one coat of Future. Looked good. I got greedy. 2 coats of Future, and I said this is looking good, and then I got real greedy, 3 coats of Future, and I ruined it. Future, as it gets thicker, will yellow, and you're rushing it. I think if you let it dry over a couple hours, another coat, you're alright. I'm finding though is there's 1 coat of Future on the hood, and it looks no better than the 3 coats that are on the cab itself and the sleeper. So I decided what I'm going to get into as I'm waiting for this to dry out is like, well, I'm going to take the buffing cloth, so I'm going to start buffing this hood. Well, did I ever ruin that? Ooh, right back down to the primer. So I got frustrated with it. The wife, before I even started, the wife said, it looks fine, leave it the way it is. And I should have listened to her, and my previous video states that I should have listened to her, because this truck turned out phenomenal for me. Glossy, bright, everything, just the piece de resistance for me up to now, and I'm glad I got it done before the year was out to say that this was probably my best build of the year. Like I said, paint-wise, build-wise, not the greatest, but the hood, the only downside on the hood side of it is it will overextend way too far, and I think there should have been like a prop or something. Maybe I'll work on it later, just getting it stopped so it opens only yay far. But the old Caterpillar engine's in there, it's all weathered, and we did that before. That turned out pretty good. I was impressed with that. Tried a little experiment. I went primer black on the air cleaner tanks, primer black, and then sprayed aluminum over them. I was hoping for a chrome effect experiment. If it turned aluminum, it was fine. Did not work. I'm thinking maybe it's the primer black over a metalizer. Maybe you might get chrome. I'm not sure. The chrome in this kit, the antennas, horns, everything, awesome. They turned out great. The interior is, I was going to do a full deal on that. I got to the point where I know I want this truck done, so you can't see it anyway. Just green seats, that's all I did. Everything else was black. The dash I did in a wood color. You can't see it anyway, so no big deal. With some help from the Garrick, he suggested, or told me how to do he calls them super floater tire, which is a military term. Michelin calls them an X1. It's the single tire. Get this thing lifted up here. You eliminate the dually in the back. You make one big tire. Did 4 of those. They turned out pretty good for my first attempt at it. If I do it again, I think so. If I did another truck or something, I'd probably do those. But Again, a little bit better, just some dryer belt. You cut the shoulders off, use your dryer belt as a reinforcer, you put it in, you put it together. No decals except for the two Kenworth, I'll get it up here, the two Kenworth decals on the side, diesel fuel only. The wife pointed out that usually you see a nice, glossy, fancy truck. On the back of the sleeper you have a great big, really cool decal, American flag or something of that nature. Went through my spares, I got nothing. And I think she's probably right, because where you have your attaching points for the interior tub, they stick out through here and here, so a big decal would hide that. I was going to work on doing some plumbings and stuff like that, air lines and brakes and shit, but nah, at this point I want to get it done. But anyway, guys, this truck turned out really cool. I like it. I would suggest to anybody that's looking for a challenging paint job truck or something like that, this is the way to go. There's such a huge surface area, you got to lay it perfect or you're going to notice every imperfection. But I'm happy it worked out really cool. So anyway, guys, thanks for all the great comments and subscriptions and all that cool stuff. Let me know what you think, and Happy New Year's. Adios.